Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello and welcome to Dialogue Alley, the official Potter Collector podcast about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I am Erik.
I'm Carly.
And the two of us are Harry Potter book translation collectors, which means we collect Harry Potter books from all over the world, including the book that we are going to talk about today, which is a delightful book. It follows perfectly with the book trends that we've been talking about recently, and we'll tell you why in a second, but we're talking about the newest book from Spain today that is just outstanding. It's just an example of book trends and I don't know, slight revisions to existing books that just make it, still fresh, that is enticing for people to buy more books, which it worked because I bought one. And Carly did too.
Yeah.
No Melanie this week. That's okay. It's just the two of us. So we're going back to the
original
Stone Age of Dialogue Alley. The original setup.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
So yeah, but I think first, Carly, we should talk about some news. There isn't a ton this week, actually, but we do have just a little bit.
I got my checkbook in, and I don't mean for the bank. I mean from the Czech Republic.
I was gonna say, people are like, wow, congratulations.
I
don't know if
know.
people bought checks anymore.
I know. The 25th anniversary checkbook. And it is so delightful. I actually made a video about it that is on my YouTube channel now because it is so well done. It's just Albatross, who is the publisher, they just do perfect books. And the reason my checkbook came in this week is because I'd ordered books for friends in the Discord and forgot myself, so I had to reorder them. But it worked out because more people got to get on the order the second time round.
That's true. I was part of that order, and I think as of this recording, mine is in the mail from Utah to Minnesota. So I can't wait for it to arrive.
Oh, you're going to love it.
I'm going to love it. I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah, you're going to... It's
probably not crazy.
It's just so well done. Like, it's so well done.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just going to say it's interesting to me that it just seems that within the past year or so, we've gotten so many new versions of existing books, which isn't bad.
No.
But it's kind of like to me, it's like a why now?
Well, they're doing their 25th anniversaries.
Some of them are, but some of them aren't.
Well, like the Spanish isn't like the sprayed-edge Spanish that we'll talk about in a minute. It's not an anniversary book. They've already done their anniversary books.
But even like the U.S. books that, there we had the anniversary, and then we had the fake anniversary, and then we have the box set of the past the anniversary. So it seems like it could have been a bigger deal than it was, but now people are just pumping out more books. France has new books that we've talked about. They're very simple covers, but that's not... Was that for the anniversary even?
No, because France's 25th anniversary would have been in 2023, I believe. That's their 25th.
So it's just more covers, right?
It's just more covers. And I mean, France loves to do cover art, and I think that they see other countries doing other cover art, so they just did it again.
Well, and that's kind of a segue into a topic we're not going to talk about today because Melanie's not here, but we did want to talk about on a future episode, probably the next episode, and let's be honest, about our collecting criteria and what our collections started out being and what they're at now, because I know that you're kind of changing what you want to have in your collection. I'm like really
if you look at
anything.
my eBay store, you can see that my collecting criteria has definitely changed.
Yeah. And I know Melanie's talking about maybe downsizing a little bit. I know some people in our Discord are downsizing a little bit for various reasons, which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of a more focused collection on what makes you happy. And we talked about last time how, for me personally, if someone in our Discord has something that I don't have and it's not part of my criteria, it's almost like by proxy I have it too, because I get to just, hear other people talk about it and show off their book and their collection. So it's like I'm still part of the same community. It's just not necessarily something that I have. Because honestly, like Peter has everything, or used to have everything, and you used to have everything. And having everything is a lot of stuff. It's
fun for a little while, but I would like to have other things at this point.
Yeah, well, and that's where I think we want to have a whole episode about it. Like, I'm there's no way I'm getting rid of my like translation collection.
No,
I'm not actually
not
get
even
rid of
a little
anything.
bit.
But
no, my translation
I think
collection
of the three
is
of us,
very much still mine, and I love it too much I love it too much to get rid of it. Like, I'm just changing up what I keep is all.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to say of the three of us, but I guess the four of us, if we're including Peter, like my collection's always been the smallest of all of them. And everyone's like, oh, you don't have this one. You're not buying this. Like, I just don't want, I don't have, I have the space, but I don't want to just keep buying stuff.
You also have really
if it doesn't bring me joy,
criteria.
like I don't want to spend money on something that's not going to make me super happy.
Yeah. Like you also just have really strict collecting criteria, and that's great.
Sticking to the rule book.
Yep.
The Erik rule book.
Yep. I'm also curious. Somebody at work asked me too, like, how publishers are going to respond to the TV show. Like, that's something that I'm actually very interested in, and how the merch will respond. Because...
Well, there's absolutely going to be more stuff put out there, whether it's books or merchandise of other kinds. But, I mean, if there was ever a time for a resurgence on getting people interested in the books again, especially how closely it's been stated that the plot of the show will closely, mirror the plot of the book. So I'm guessing that will renew some interest.
Yeah, that's
or
kind of my thoughts.
Pique people's interest that haven't actually read them for the first time.
Yeah. Yep.
Because now we're at the point where, like, there will be people that will not have even watched the original 8 movies.
I know.
And will maybe watch the show first, because that was a while ago that those movies were, I guess, I don't want to say relevant, because that's not. They're still relevant, but they're not like new and exciting and thrilling. Like
no, they're not, and they're not.
When we all remember like the midnight releases and stuff.
Right. And so yeah, like it's weird to think that the show may be how people first meet Harry Potter, or like, I don't know. Interesting.
Right. Oh, I do have one more bit of news.
Oh.
Tom Felton is
going
to be playing Draco Malfoy in The Cursed Child on Broadway as of now. And it's crazy because I'm going to New York in less than a week, like in 4 days. And I'm not going to see that show there. But now I'm like, oh.
Now you wish you were.
Maybe I should. But I don't know. I already have tickets to shows and stuff. I don't know if I want to go to one more show.
I mean, it's Tom Felton as his favorite role.
I know, but I also don't really have any more free time to go. I'd have to cancel something else.
Yeah.
But it's something like, if I would have known that 3 months ago, maybe I would have bought a ticket. But
if I could go, again, I would.
It's not a make or break for me, but it is cool that he's in the show. I think that's a really cool.
Same.
Well, because he expressed interest in participating in the HBO show,
right?
But wasn't cast for Lucius Malfoy. But this is kind of his way of staying in touch, and he's someone that, is still very on board with his role in the Harry Potter fandom. Like he
still loves
interested in still being connected to that. So that's really cool.
He still is a big part of the fandom, and he still interacts with the fandom a lot. It's really fun just to watch him on Instagram and other social media platforms.
Absolutely. But you know what else is really fun, Carly?
Oh, I sense a segue.
Oh, I was going to say dodgeball, but yeah. What else is fun is this new book from Spain that we got that we're going to talk about right now.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
So in this episode, we are going to talk the entire time and right into the translation of the show, because we're going to talk about this book for that as well. The newest hardcover book from Spain in Spanish for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And it is, like, spoiler alert, it's just outstanding. And it's not that different. If you would have told me this was an anniversary edition, or if Scholastic had done something like this for the anniversary edition, I would have been over the moon. And here we have just this new book from Spain that's not even an anniversary edition. That's just outstanding. So, I don't know. Let's describe what it looks like first, so people are on board. What I think is great about this is it has the original artwork by the original artist for the Spanish books.
Yes, and Dolores
whether
Avendano is the illustrator. What is her name? Avendano?
Yeah. I don't have it open, but that sounds...
I know that's her name.
Right,
I'm just not sure on the pronunciation. I don't know if there's an Inya or not, but that is who is the illustrator, and it's the original artwork redone.
It is, and what's great about this is it still maintains that, like, obviously this is a Harry Potter book. However, the background of the entire hardcover book, and there's no dust jacket, it's just a hardcover without a dust jacket, is just this, like, really vibrant red color, which, like, as the background of the castle scene with Harry flying on the broomstick, which is very similar to the U.S. Grand Prix art, it's just, like, such a contrast to what you're used to seeing, and especially in some of the Spanish books that have that yellow border around the outside, which is kind of a weird contrast with the dark blues of the art, but it's just great. And not only is the red an awesome color, but they have the Harry Potter title in the movie font, and it's shiny foil, and set against that red, it's just so great. And the shiny foil is on the spine. The shiny foil is even on the back cover as a lightning bolt with a little mini version of Harry from the front, the same picture, with him, like, popping out of the lightning bolt. And it's just so simple, but it's so effective.
Yeah, I love that part, like that little added detail on the back of the book. I think it is so cool. Like, so neat.
It is cool. And just to take it one step further, because everything is so trendy right now, this book has a sprayed side edge, and it's a simple one, but I think it's really cool. We've talked about how the Slovak books had that really busy sprayed edge that just had, like, a very, busy design. Mm-hmm. This one is just black all the way around, except for the main part of the side edge, which is an entire top to bottom of the book lightning bolt in a yellowish color, which is really, really cool. I had this book displayed side edge out on my shelf just because I don't have a spot for it yet, so I put it on top of a box set, and for like a minute I was looking for this book to talk about it today, and I just finally realized that I had it with the sprayed side edge out, and it just looked like it was so much a part of the box I had it on top of, because it's so simple that I was like, oh, I can't believe I just left it right there. But it's just really, really, really cool. And the best part about this, Carly, and I don't know, we can kind of mix the tot scale into this, or some of the information, is that it's not hard to get, and it's not expensive, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah. You can just get it on Amazon Spain or other Spanish booksellers. The shipping, though, like, I used book delivery. I want to say I paid something like I paid about $36 for the book shipped. Or a little bit more.
Which, for a book from Europe to North America, that's really pretty reasonable, honestly, these days especially.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Like, I knew I was going to have to pay for it. I knew I wanted it. If they were to come out with 2 through 7, I do not plan on buying them, but I really do like this.
No, I don't buy it. I don't either. And it's an interesting question. Like, is this unique art? I mean, the short answer is yes, it's unique art. However, is it that much different than the original Spanish art, where if you are collecting differences in the Spanish art, you would need this? I don't necessarily think so, but for that price, it's like, it's not a hard decision if you're on the fence to just
it's not unique art, but it is also different enough that it really does dress up a bookshelf. And I love to take the side edges and put them side edge out on my bookshelf because they make such nice pops of color.
That's a good point, especially if you have a lot of books in Spanish with kind of, the same old Spanish covers we're used to. They are getting to be quite a few, but the spines of all of those, like if you have multiple versions of the kind of computerized graphic art one, or multiples of the original, like this does add a little pop on your shelf, whether you have it red side out with the foil or lightning bolt side out, especially if you put it next to the other book from Spain that came out not too long ago with the really vibrant rainbow foil.
Yeah,
spine.
the Javier or Xavier Bonnet illustrator
Yeah.
books. Those are phenomenal. And book 4 is up for pre-order right now. It comes out in July.
Oh, well, how about that? Well, should we give this book a score, I guess, Carly?
We can. One of the things, though, that someone talked about in the chat, but I also noticed when I was looking at the book last night as well, is that there's not the Wizarding World logo on the back of it.
Oh, I didn't notice that either.
It says their HP is there, but there's not the Wizarding World logo. And it's also not on the new check. But it's not on this book.
Oh, that's interesting. And it's not even in like the end papers
No.
or anywhere else. Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. They've got to be doing something different with trademark. I don't see Salamandra just going like rogue.
No, I don't either. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that part of the publishing is just kind of like not important anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great question. That'd be a good question for the publisher, but I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Same. But yeah, we can score it now. What were you going to say?
All right. Well,
Oh.
I was going to say, why don't you guide us through this delightful book, Carly?
Okay. The Tot scale.
Question mark?
I know. You can tell I just woke up like 5 minutes before we got to do this. So I'm still like groggy.
I know, this isn't normally a day we record, and Carly works night shifts, so...
I know, so I usually sleep a little bit longer so I can... Because I work until tomorrow morning. So you can see me at my worst. It's fine. Yeah. I actually need to pull up notes so I can look at the Tot scale, or I'm not going to be making sense. I apologize.
That is fine. While you're doing that, I will also mention that... Well, you already mentioned there's no Wizarding World logo, but this book is really simple. There's not a lot of like frills, even on the inside.
And even the side edge, while it's there, it's still... And it does have a lightning bolt. It is still not as fancy as some of the others.
No, it's not. It does have the map at the beginning, which we've seen before. It's not a new map. And above, like there's chapter artwork, but it's the same all the way through. It's literally just a small Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone with little twinkles under the chapter, as well as there's little snitches at the bottom in the middle of every page, which is where the page number is. I'm guessing if they continue more books in the series in this style, they'll carry that on. So they'll have something else underneath all the chapter headings and something else at the bottom of the page, which would be really cool. But if this is just a one-off, that's totally fine too. But it was interesting that it's new, but it's not like a deluxe edition. They didn't add anything really spectacular on the inside, or any additional content, or really anything that we haven't seen before in a book besides just that really minimal chapter artwork and the page number artwork at the bottom. So if you're hoping that this book's going to, have something new on the inside, it doesn't really. So if that's part of why you might want to pick it up or not pick it up, just be aware of that.
Right. And let's smell it now.
Oh, smell it now. We're on the scale.
Yep.
All right, we're going to give this book scores. Ooh.
I actually really love that.
I do too. Wow. It smells like the wood aisle at the Home Depot.
I know. This is totally outstanding for me. In a different way than Slovak, but like, it is so good.
It's very woody smelling. It smells, like I said, it smells like a lumber aisle at your local lumber store.
Yeah.
If you frequent one often.
Well, I mean, they could go to Menards.
It's like they just used a lathe and just shaved the pages off a tree, like right in front of us, and then just bound them into this book.
It is so good smelling. So outstanding on smell. Wow.
Outstanding on smell. That means Melanie needs to buy this book.
Is this the best smelling Spanish book? I think so.
I think so. Yes, I would say yes.
Granted,
but it's also...
we've not done the Tot scale on the Xavier Bonnet books, or Bonnet books, but I need to smell those now. This smells so good.
It does.
Size and proportions.
Wow.
It's a big book. Gone are the days of little Spanish books. Like, this is about the size of a U.S. hardcover book 1. Book 2, really.
That's what I was going to say. It's almost U.S. sized, and it's to the point where I think this book has really great size and proportions. So I'm actually going to give this book, I don't know, between an E and an O.
I'm outstanding here. I love the size and proportions. Yeah, I love how big it is. I love the size and proportions of this book.
I think I'm going to go outstanding for this. I can't let... Here's the thought that goes through my head whenever I see a book that's this big that I think is great. When we get to like the U.S. books 4, 5, 6, even 7, they're so big that it still has good size and proportions, but it's almost too big depending on who you are reading it. My hands are pretty big, so I would never
I'm going to be interested to see how... Because the Xavier Bonnet illustrated books are all just about the same size as this one here. And I will be interested to see how they handle book 4, because they're doing the whole series. It looks like book 4 is up for pre-order, like I said. So I'll be interested to see how book 4 looks.
Oh, yeah, I will too. And that's, again, I'm not going to buy them all, but hopefully... This isn't like peer pressure. Hopefully someone in our Discord buys them and we can kind of get their opinions on that, because... Well,
I have them.
That's the cool part of this community.
There's that for me not buying everything. Still, I'm buying those.
So you're not buying everything, but you're buying everything. But not everything. Just everything.
Part of the new criteria that we're not talking about this episode is that... I really want to buy books with fun cover art, and that is unique fun cover art. So that fits criteria right now.
It does. It fits the Carly criteria, the CC.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
We are going to... How does the book feel in my hand? I love the rounded spine. It falls into my hand very easily. I don't want to open it because it is a very stiff spine, and I don't want to open it further than I have to. So
it doesn't crack. Don't worry about it. It's perfect.
Cool.
It's bound in such a way, and we could talk about this in quality. It's bound in the way where the curved spine makes it impossible for it to crack, and it makes it extremely readable. So in terms of how it feels in your hands, I think it's outstanding. I love the texture of the cover. Mm-hmm. I love how...
Yeah, I've felt this book this whole episode. I keep running my fingers over it.
Something about the foiling on the front, like it's just got that different texture for the rest of the book. It's not really super raised or anything,
right.
But it's great. And yeah, if you're gonna read this book, you can... I've said this a lot. If you're reading the first page, it's just as easy to read as the very middle of the book or the last page. It's not like it's impossible and you have to really crack it open to read the beginning or the ending.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So
Outstanding.
quality.
Outstanding for me.
Outstanding for me too. Quality of the book.
This is the one part where I'm going to just bring it down to an E, which is still a great score, exceeds expectations. Some of the corners on mine are already a little dinged up, just from existing, because they're very sharp and very pointy. And it's very noticeable because of the bright red. So the bright red cover, when the covers get a little dinged, I can already see the white. Like there's white on every one of my 4 main corners on this book. That's doesn't mean it's still not made really well. I think that would happen to any book where the corners are this.
Well, and it's so big, and this was housed. Yeah. If you got yours through, I didn't get mine through Amazon, but if you got yours through a large warehoused facility, they would have used machines to move things around, which can damage some of the books, and unfortunately, I've had other books, not this particular one, but I've had other books arrive damaged from similar stuff.
Well, yeah, and I wouldn't even say it's damaged. Again,
I would. It
corners
bothers
are
me.
just I wouldn't say mine's damaged. Mine is just it exists as a book. Like if you ever had a book and you put it on the shelf, that's enough of wear to make something like this happen on the corners. And it's, again, the corners are still really sharp. It's just the red is wearing off. There's a little bit of white poking through. But overall, that doesn't detract from the quality of the rest of the book. I think the pages are really well, or like good quality pages. The ink is great. Like you mentioned, the curve of the spine is fantastic. It's bound in a way where it's not going to crack. You can open it up all the way. And again, that side edge is just done so well.
Right.
And it looks so cool when it's all together. So I really do think this is a pretty high quality book. So I would give it like an E or an E+.
So adding on to what you said, I'm also going to say E, but I'll get into why in a minute. I love the size of the font in the book. I think it's a lot more readable than some of the original smaller books.
Yeah, well, you can do that in a bigger book, which is like
you have more space. I like the width of like the alleys and the gutters. I think those are great. So I think the text block width itself is really well done. My one caveat is I'm really worried the paper itself. It's really a nice thick paper, but it feels very similar to the paper out of the UK Bloomsbury Deluxe editions, where if you were to read it and fold it after time, the paper, I think, would dry, just like the deluxe edition has dried, and it can, like where you folded it, can fall off just from being too dry.
Sure, but I don't plan on folding my
right,
paper.
But like if you're just going to read the book like a young kiddo would, I used to always fold the corners of my books when I was reading. So that is the one thing that I would worry about, is that, I think the paper might be a little bit dry and quite prone to wear over time if you do anything to it at all, or chipping or anything like that.
I used to have this thing that would mark the place in your book when you were reading. They called it a bookmark, and you'd put it in your book to know where you left off.
You ever
had one of those?
I lost my bookmarks all the time.
You didn't use anything laying around? Post-it note, Kleenex?
No, I would lose them, so I would just mark it by folding the corners. I would fold a bottom corner.
Oh, I usually would take a dollar bill that was crinkly and use that as my bookmark in a big book to make it flat again.
Oh, nice. No, I would fold the bottom corner because I hated how it looked. So I would fold a bottom corner so I didn't have to look at it on top.
Ah, okay. Well, to each their own.
Yeah, and then I wisened up as a book collector, and I was like, oh, what have I done? So many books.
What can you do? I All right, so we both gave it an E for that one.
Right. And cover art and interpretation of, I'm going to have to say outstanding, even though they honestly didn't do much more than just like the vibrant red, remove the yellow border, and get rid of the really depressing blue. I am selling most of my like first Spanish books that aren't book one because I don't care for them. I don't like that cover art at all. I love this. I love the vibrant red. I love the red.
I love the red too. I'm gonna give it an E though, and that's mostly because of how I feel about the original Spanish artwork. I think it's only okay. It's not bad. It's not good. The thing that I don't love about the red, and this is because of the original art, is that Harry has this weird red cape on in the Spanish art, and I don't know why he has a cape to begin with. Like, they don't talk about that anywhere in the book. Let's put on our capes. He's also just wearing a yellow long sleeve shirt and some jeans with some like regular tennis shoes. Mm-hmm. So, he's wearing the Muggle clothing, which he appears on other books too, but the red on the red for that to me is just a little bit like, ugh. Like, why did they have to pick a red that's so similar to the cape? However, in general, I think this artwork, this reimagining of the artwork or interpretation of the artwork is really fantastic. So I'd go E or E plus. And I'm always wondering too, just why his shoes are untied. Both his shoes are untied.
Harry was a chaotic mess when he got to Hogwarts, though. Like, did you know that kid? He was all over the place.
Yeah, and the broomstick's also really bendy that he's on. That doesn't really affect it, but I really do like this a lot. If you're going to interpret artwork in any way in terms of being faithful to the original source material and jazzing it up a little bit, this is exactly how you do it. So I'm giving it an E plus.
Yeah,
I think it's really, really, really strong.
Well, if they were to come out with a series like this before my criteria changed, I would probably enjoy the artwork more and buy them all. Like, I enjoy this artwork much more than the original. A lot more.
Me too, especially if there was a solid color background for every book. So on the shelf, it was kind of like a rainbow action.
I would love that. Like if they did book 2 in like blue, book 4 in purple, something like that. I think that would be lovely.
Yeah, awesome.
So I'm going to say probably outstanding for me because it took this cover art from like a sad trombone, when I look at it, to like, oh my gosh, that's great. So like...
Right, from the late 90s too. It's not like it's newish artwork. It's almost pushing 30 years here.
Yeah, so... But
not quite.
I'm going to have to say outstanding for how it switched how I received the artwork in my mind.
Now, what do you got for X Factor, Carly?
I took one of the hardcover Spanish books off the shelf with the blue and the yellow border, and I'm holding it up to the red Spanish book, and it's about half an inch shorter, and it's about half an inch not as long, but it is about double the width. The red book is about double the width of the original hardcover book, which is laughable because of all the Spanish nonsense now, but we're going to keep that phrase anyway. But I was looking at the page count, and there are 285 pages in the red Spanish book, and there are 255 pages in the yellow bordered Spanish hardcover book. So really only a 30-page difference. And it's double the width. So I think what they've done is really cool. Like, they've kept it almost the same. They've just made it bigger and blown it up. So I think that's
your X Factor?
My X Factor.
Making it bigger?
Yeah.
Okay, well, mine's the side edge with the sprayed side edge with the lightning bolt.
I wanted to be different.
Okay, that's fine.
Did you see the end papers, though? The end papers are gold like the side edge.
Yeah, I think the end papers are really good.
Yeah.
Especially when you get them in good lighting. If it's dark, it looks just like a tan.
No,
But they're
I
actually
tried to
kind of
show
like
it.
Little shimmery gold.
Yeah, I tried to get a picture of it, and it looked really dumb, so I just deleted it.
Oh. We got some people commenting on our live listening. They like the Harry coming out of the lightning bolt on the back of the book.
Which is a great X factor.
Red. It is great. There's so many X factors of this book. Really, I think the side edge is fantastic. That's, to me, the main reason to buy this book is
I think it's the first Spanish book with a side edge as well. Like, they just now joined that trend. Isn't other than the anniversary editions, or the house editions.
I am not in my library, so I cannot confirm that.
I'm looking at the Spanish house editions.
Tuned.
I know that those had side edges, but the house editions do. But, like, the Xavier Bonnet books don't. I wish they did.
I'm not in my library again. I can't comment on
We have
this,
the
so
purple, but that's not really a sprayed side edge. That's purple because of the ends of the paper.
Right. This one is, I think this is the only one with a design.
Yeah, and it's sprayed. Like, they've actually gone and sprayed the edges.
Well, I guess the moral of this, Tots, is this book's fantastic. If you're interested at all to get it. It's super great.
Yeah, it is a great one. The Danish has the black edges. I love those. I was thinking about them earlier. That's what Johnny was saying. But
you just sit around thinking about the Danish side edge books randomly, Carly?
Even though my criteria has changed, which we'll talk about later, I still do want that set because it's so well done. It was trendy before things were trending.
That is true. It was the trend before the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, hang around with us for just one more little mini segment because I have something that we're going to tease for the people that are listening now, but we're not going to give away too much. So. So that's pretty much everything for this episode of Dialogue Alley, which I don't know if we mentioned is season 5, episode 18. Just want to thank everyone that joined us for the live listen, and we don't normally record this early in the day, so it makes it more difficult for people that live in other countries, especially that have different time zones. So hopefully people got to catch us on there, and those people are able to listen in because they do support us on Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/dialoguealley, for just not very much money a month, honestly, you get access to our Discord, which is this great community of people, we've mentioned it so often, that share this passion for collecting Harry Potter books and translations and just love talking about books and book collecting. So it's a really great group of people, and one of the perks is you do get to participate in the live listen-in, so you can watch us record if you choose to do so and chat with us as we record, which is really fun. And I will say to the people listening right now, we are very close to finally having the merch shop open and ready for business. We're designing the things right now. A lot of them are done. I'm working on the actual storefront page on the website. It's not live yet, but it's being built as we speak, and there's just some really cool stuff on there, Carly. And I think before we announce it to the general public, I think we'll let anyone that's in the Discord or Patreon supporters have access to that first, so we can say thanks. You were the first ones to get to experience the merch shop. And you can buy all of your socks and your shower curtain and your sponges.
No spatulas, though.
And your golf tees. No, We don't have any of those, although that would be pretty funny. They do actually have shower curtains, but we didn't. I'm not putting any of those in our store unless there's a high demand. But yeah, so stay tuned for that, especially if you're a Patreon supporter. Look for a message when that's live. We'll share it with you guys first before we push it out to the rest of the listeners. If you'd like to get in touch with Carly or myself, Carly is on the socials at All the Pretty Books. I am at Nocturne Erik. That's Nocturne with a K and Erik with a K. Melanie is at the Harry Potter Collection, and Peter is, of course, at the Potter Collector. This podcast can be found at Dialogue Alley Podcast. You can email us, dialoguealleypodcast@gmail.com. You can check out our website, dialoguealley.com, where we have that fantastic interactive flow chart to find out what U.S. book you have and if it's valuable or not. And we got some good feedback on that not too long ago, Carly, where someone was looking through it and they had a question and it was kind of confusing. So they pushed the contact us form, and Carly was able to quickly and accurately answer this individual's question, and that feedback prompted us to edit a few things on the website to make it have a little more clarity in terms of the minutia of a 6th printing U.S. book versus a 5th printing U.S. book, because there's a subtle difference that isn't necessarily that widespread. But Carly knew the answer right away. Very knowledgeable, which is why we had why we have the website, really, and why we have the contact us button. So there is that. Otherwise, that's it for this episode of Dialogue Alley. Thank you so much for listening. We really do love all of your support, and we hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week. So it is now time to walk back through the archway and into our daily lives, and we will catch you next time on Dialogue Alley. Bye, everyone.
Bye.